Obasanjo said, I knew Buhari didn't understand economics, but did not know he was so reckless. Can you imagine? He said he knew Buhari, okay, did not understand economics. Did Buhari understand? He didn't understand anything now. For the 8 years, it was obvious he was not even the person ruling Nigeria. He was ruling by proxy. A lot of small people, cabal. He went and brought all the cabal from his Daura village to rule in Abuja, including that small boy called Rabiu, which is nicknamed, what is his name? Is it Kunle, or what do they call him? Yeah? So the truth here is that Buhari didn't know anything. That is the truth. So let's see what Obasanjo has more to say. President Olusegun Obasanjo, who twice led Nigeria, first in military between 1976 and 1979, and then in civilian rule between 1999 and 2007, can claim to have seen it all. Born in March 5, 1937, the 86-year-old retired general has been a constant in Nigeria's history. Okay, in and out of office, offering comments, even if controversially, on political and economic issues. In this interview with the cable news, he gives his opinions of a wide range of things. Okay, so he had interview with the cable and saying that we have to rethink democracy. The liberal democracy we are copying from settled societies in the West won't work for us. Now, wow. Increasingly, there's a first question here that are thrown to him. Increasingly, we are witnessing an era of military coup in Nigeria, or in Africa, sorry. What do you think is going on? And Obasanjo replied, in 2021, when Colonel Mamadi Doumbouya overthrew President Alpha Conde of Guinea, I recall that I traveled to Conakry. I spent 2 nights there. The coup leader didn't want to meet with me because he didn't know he didn't know what I would say. They said he was out of town. It was not true. But I met every other important government official. I met his number 2 and his speaker. I listened to them and concluded that we had a new phenomenon on our hands. I realized that they had the support of the youth and we are not thinking of staying in power for 4 years, 4 or 5 years. Okay? They are in for a generation. So when I noticed this, I went to Addis Ababa to meet the chairperson of the African Union Commission, Musa Faki Muhammad. And I told him that maybe he had not seen what I was seeing, that I saw this in Guinea-Conakry. He said I was talking about Guinea-Conakry. What about his own country, Chad? He said Burkina Faso, Mali, Guinea-Conakry, and Chad were thinking the same way, and they were connected. I said that was a new phenomenon in Africa. I said it was the one who in 1999 advocated that if you are not a government backed by the constitution, you should be suspended from the African Union. And these chaps don't even mind any suspension. So I told him that all the instruments we have used in the past would not work, and asked what he should do about it. And he told me about his challenges, especially with his country. So we have a situation where we have a continent where we have to rethink democracy. The liberal democracy we are copying from settled societies in the West won't work for us. Okay? Somebody say, what type of democracy would work for us? That's the question the cable now asked Obasanjo. What type of democracy would work for us? And Obasanjo said, I don't know. But we have seen that the liberal type of democracy as practiced in the West will not work for us. We have to put our heads together. Okay? And the cable asked again, some would say it is working in Nigeria, that it has survived for 24 years. And Obasanjo said, I won't answer you that. And they laughed. Okay? Okay, so but what can work for us? You have to put your heads together to fashion it out. You can give it any name, but we have seen that this is not working. Out of the 6 countries that have experienced coup, 3 of them are directly from elections: Burkina Faso, Guinea, Conakry, okay, and Gabon, that we have just had, are directly from elections. So the other 3 are indirect, if you like, okay. So what would you say ECOWAS could have handled? Uh, would you say ECOWAS could have handled the Niger coup differently? Ambassador said, what I said about the Niger is now what we did with Gabon. Not a threat of force. Tinubu said, we are watching. In Niger, ECOWAS has threatened the drum, and they have seen that it didn't work. The point is this: where in Africa have the people benefited from the dividends of democracy? Tell me. Oh, and they say maybe in Botswana. And he said, you don't know the inside of Botswana. Okay, Ian Khama, the former president, cannot go to Botswana today. His father was the first president. I worked with him. As they were settling down, I thought they were making progress because the president after his father was the one who became Minister of Finance. And when I was military head of state, he used to come and visit us, and we would render assistance to them. And he later became vice president and president. The next one was the same way. So Ian Khama, who became the head of the army, moved the same way. So the one that succeeded him now is chasing him from pillar to post. That is not liberal democracy. Abi? So the case of Botswana is different from our own case. Okay? And they went on and on and on and on. And what Obasanjo is telling them is still the same thing, that the kind of liberal democracy we are copying from the West will not work for us. We need to put our heads together to think of what will work. Because all those places he said he has gone, he has seen that the people are organizing their coup directly from elections. Okay, meaning that there's something wrong about our elections, something wrong about our democratic system. Quite unfortunate. So there are a few more things here, something about power and something about the refineries, and the energy sector, and I know that you would have answered the same way as well. If you don't have a stable government, then nothing will work in a country. That is the truth. And that is my take. Somebody is making a comment here telling him to shut up. You made Buhari petroleum minister since 1970. Can you imagine? What does that mean? Uh, Somebody say you past leaders are a failure, especially the military ones. You that know economics. I say, I welcome you all. Okay, no, that is something different. Welcome. Time to read all these lengthy things. And you didn't say it when Buhari was in power. Dog eat dog. Presidency is not a cup of tea. Tinubu is feeling unimaginable fire now. Abi, in the hear what were you thinking when you were supporting Buhari against Jonathan? You preferred an illiterate to a PhD holder. Please keep quiet. It is too late. I mean, that giving him that man back. But it was him that brought Jonathan to now. Okay, he eventually, because Jonathan was not performing, he supported Buhari to succeed Jonathan. Okay, now Nigeria is feeling it. It's quite unfortunate that we're in this mess, but it has happened. It has happened. Let's think of the best government that will work for Africa and not this Western democracy. Thank you for listening, and let's have your comment.